pending the time a cure will be found to treat sickle cell anemia, access to healthcare services, research and adequate support systems are some of the suggestions being advocated by FCT residents who participated in a walk to commemorate the World Sickle Cell Awareness Day. Arise correspondent Farouk Mohammed took part in the walk and compiles this report.
The 5-kilometer walk from Jabi Lakeside had hundreds of persons in attendance. June 19th of every year has been set aside to create awareness about sickle cell. The day provides an avenue to draw attention to sickle cell disease as a global health concern. Sickle cell disease is a genetic blood disorder characterized by abnormal red blood cells that take on a crescent or sickle shape. These irregularly shaped cells cause blockages in blood vessels, leading to a variety of health complications. Statistics show that millions of people suffer from the disease every year, but more worrisome is the lack of understanding, limited access to health care, and social stigma associated with it. With the disease affecting millions of people globally, and Nigeria having a huge percentage, organizers want the government to subsidize medications so as to lessen the burden on victims and caregivers.
Sickle cell is in existence, and 1 out of every 4 Nigerians is either a carrier of sickle cell or has sickle cell disorder. So you can see 25% of the population is already affected.
Federal government, they really have a part to play because many warriors are not financially buoyant. Their parents are not financially buoyant, and sickle cell is expensive to maintain. So we need drugs, let there be a insurance, medical insurance, that we can walk into hospitals and even to subsidize prices to get medical treatment in hospitals, and our routine drugs should be provided.
As a major public health issue causing significant morbidity and mortality in affected individuals, advocates advise testing to know compatibility of intending couples so as to prevent giving birth to carriers.
If you notice, we had flyers that we shared out. Those flyers contained the genotype compatibility, who and who should get married, and that's what you need to know about sickle cell. If you know the right person to marry, if you know your genotype and know the right person to marry, you'll be able to make informed choices before picking a partner and then deciding to have a child.
Genotype compatibility is a must before walking down the aisle because we do not want more children to be born with this blood disorder. So it is really preventable just by knowing your genotype.
Philip Mary is a sickle cell patient. She says one of the most challenging aspects is stigmatization. She wants fellow carriers to have hope, as being a sickle cell patient is not an automatic death sentence when managed properly.
They see us like maybe we're not part of who God created. The stigma is too much. So I want them to show love to every sickle cell warrior they come across. Because me, I've suffered so much stigmatization, like so much. People don't want to associate with me maybe because of how sickle cell has gotten me deformed. So we don't want that stigmatization. So we want love, and also they should just be strong for us.
After the walk, there was an opportunity for participants to be tested so as to know their genotypes. There were other activities such as sickle cell education and blood donations. Also, free medications were distributed.
All right, joining us now to take a look at issues and challenges about sickle cell anemia is Patrick Eneche, who is a sickle cell warrior himself. Hello, and very warm welcome to Newsnight.
Good evening, sir.
I love the radiance on your face. You don't look in any way like somebody who suffers that condition or who battles it, because, you are warrior-like,
Yes.
Without going so much into the experiences,
Yes.
one worry for me
Yes.
is the issue of stigmatization. Why?
Yes, the issue of stigmatization, it's a lot of, in the past, people who didn't know about sickle cell thought it was, it has to do with a spiritual problem. The popular saying of the Allegeno in the African setting. Along the line, research made them to understand that it's not a spiritual problem. So from that first set, stigmatization started. We face stigmatizations even in hospitals, among people also as well, except those who really have that empathy for sickle cell patients. They empathize with you when you go through the sickle cell crisis. In that aspect, you don't, even families stigmatize a fellow family who has a sickle cell patient, who has a sickle cell disorder.
Yeah, but what's the experience like at the medical facilities? Is it the same?
Yes. The experience is, it's only very few, or let me say with my experience, very few medical facilities and also practitioners that gives you that empathy and love. Some fields that sickle cell patients, going by the fact that you go through series of pains, you are either depending on medications, and which make those facilities not to attend to you on time when you are being rushed to the facility and you meet someone who has this stigmatization factor in them. So these are the kind of, but so far so good. There are some doctors and facilities that are perfect when it comes to managing and handling sickle cell, which I can attest to.
Any herbal testimony to this? Because I know the University of then University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, developed a herbal remedy, you know.
Yes.
Is it like train steak or from train steak?
Yes.
And atare or something?
Yes, you
know.
chew it, yeah.
Yeah, you chew it.
Yes,
yeah.
you chew it to reduce pain and all.
Is it helping?
I've not really.
You've not tried it?
I've tried it, but I've not really gotten a kind of a relief from
Maybe
pains.
you tried it for a while and dumped
yes.
it.
And also,
you were not persistent.
No, I was not persistent.
But
there's been.
What I just want to establish is its availability in the Nigerian market.
Yes.
Is it something easily accessible?
Yes, it is. It's something that you
because
can.
It was approved by the World Health Organization.
Yes. Recently, last year, let me digress a little. Last year, when I had issues, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I was going through a series of pains. One of the former registrar of University of Ilori, she was around. Is a mother of my friend, so and she heard about it. She went into the bush in Abuja and got me few
some herbs.
Yes, and part of those herbs was the chewing stick you just said. It's like it has this mint taste. When you chew it continuously to get a relief of pain. Sometimes you can chew and drink and swallow it. Sometimes you can either boil it and drink it. So far, I can't say I had a relief, but yes, there was this significant effect I had, but it wasn't the final relief I needed for
significant effect.
Yes.
Having some relief.
Yes.
And the brain tumor matter.
No, I had a surgery after then. Yes.
Okay, well, I'm sure some of the pharmacologists, pharmacognosis
Yes.
will be able to talk more
on this.
And
Yes.
the doctors will be able to talk more. But let's look at the conflict between love, religion, and health. Some warriors deliberately go into it knowing that their partner's genotypes is no match for
Yes.
them. Why?
I think
You know, it's like seeing a lion
Yes.
with a mouth wide open and you walk into it.
Yes, I think it's where we mix it up. Sometimes it's like we putting God to test. I'll quote Reverend Father Oluomo sometime in 2020 when we had the June 19th World Sickle Cell Day. He stated in one of his write-ups that someone who goes into a relationship and get married to give birth to a sickle cell patient is even more worse than someone who commits an abortion, because you are bringing to the world children that are going to suffer perpetually. I will tell you honestly, I've been in this for 4 decades now. The pains are not pains that you get used to. They comes in different versions. So you can never get used to the pain. So one telling you that he wants to go into a relationship because the both partners are in love, they are just being selfish selfish because they feel they are in love, and making it difficult to understand that the children they are about to bring into life are going to suffer it. Our parents didn't know about this before they went into their relationship. If not, they would have avoided it, because I've lost 2 siblings as a result of sickle cell disorder. And in my family, I'm the only sickle cell patient now out of 5 siblings. So I believe my parents would have aborted anything that has to do with sickle cell if they had the information I have today.
40 years ago?
Yes.
The information was around. That's why I used, the 3 words conflicting,
Yes.
and you made reference to the Reverend Father, right?
Yes.
Oluomo,
Yes.
right? Love, religion,
Yes.
and health. Which should come first?
Health should come first for me, then follow, because without health you won't have the other 2 moving on well. Health should come first, then you can now apply your religion. It stands a different body on its own. You cannot bring in religion where you're talking about health and love. But when you have a good health, you have a good health, you can now give birth to a good you can now give birth to a good love. At the same time, you can now serve whatever you are serving. If you are a Christian, you hold on to your God properly. If you are a Muslim, you hold on to your God properly. And if you are a pagan, you hold on to your God properly, if it comes to that. So for me, that's my take, because if I said a religion should come first, some people will mistaken it that you are encouraging them to do a same genotype marriage, and it will be misunderstood because of the part of the world we come from.
I love the way you've broken it down. I mean, that's an existentialist theory, yes, which, looks at which comes first, existence, yes, or essence, yes, Thanks so very much, Patrick Eneche. Yes. Is a sickle cell warrior, and you don't look at it at 40, you're looking really young and great.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming on News Night.
Thank you, sir.